You're reading your book. You even have your reading blanket on, and all you can think about is food. Cleaning again. And all you can think about is eating that donut. You're trying to get work done, but you can't focus. Has this ever happened to you? Yep, that's a craving.
What's up, guys? Happy Monday. Welcome back to my channel and welcome to today's video. I want to keep this quick and to the point. We're talking about food cravings today, and I'm going to give you some strategies that you can use when you're navigating food cravings, because food cravings can feel really powerful and really urgent and make us feel like we're out of control of our decisions when it comes to our food. And I've experienced this firsthand for sure. The way that I can best describe it, the best analogy that I have for it, is that it feels like Audrey 2, the mutant plant from Little Shop of Horrors, has taken over your body and is just like, and will do absolutely anything to get what it wants. 97% of women and 68% of men report having experienced food cravings. They're common and they're normal, but they can also be a big hindrance when it comes to hitting our goals, whatever they are, whether it's weight loss, weight gain, whatever. Feeling out of control and feeling powerless when it comes to your food choices kind of sucks. So I've got some strategies for you next time a craving comes up. So the first tip that I have for you when it comes to managing food cravings is to make sure that your basic macronutrient and micronutrient intake needs are being met every day. Food cravings happen more often when we're hungry and when we're not getting enough calories. So they can sometimes happen as a result of restricting your intake. Making sure that your diet is full of enough nutrient-dense foods to optimally fuel your activity level is so important. Cravings can also sometimes come up as a result of a nutrient deficiency, although this is not as common as a craving resulting from psychological factors. But that is something to be aware of. Sometimes people will crave salty foods if they're dehydrated or if they have an electrolyte imbalance. So I would say that's the first thing to do, is look at your intake and make sure that you're getting enough nutrients every day consistently. The second tip that I have is look at your sleep. Sleep is so important for so many different reasons, but research shows that even a small sleep debt suppresses our satiety hormone, leptin. If that satiety hormone isn't functioning properly, I mean, sleep affects all your hormones and so many things. Sleep, I'm gonna do a whole video on sleep. But when it comes to cravings, yeah, if you're tired, you're gonna crave things more often because your satiety hormone is gonna be suppressed. I know I've experienced this, and I'm sure most of you probably have too, when you're just really tired and you're really hungry and you start craving foods that maybe you normally wouldn't crave even. So get your sleep in check. The next thing is to recognize that cravings are simply just habits. They're habits that have been reinforced over years and years of repetition a lot of the time, because your brain is trained to expect a reward from indulging in that craving. Our brains are really powerful, and we build up this reward value for these behaviors based on a lot of different factors. Let's use the example of cake. Cake, we expect a high reward value from, right? Because we've established all of these things that are associated with cake in our brains. It's associated with parties and birthdays and celebration and a social thing a lot of the time. It also tastes really good, and it's full of sugar, which is super addicting. So our brain expects a high reward from eating that food, especially if it's a craving, if we're indulging in that craving. But when you take the time to actually be mindful of how you feel after performing that behavior and equate your actual feeling with what you expected to feel, a lot of the time you'll find that those two things are incongruous. So there's this great app that's called Eat Right Now, and it encourages people to do exactly that. It encourages you to consider how you're feeling before, during, and after eating a food or dealing with a craving. So this is huge. Being mindful of an experience can help us to mitigate it. We can reduce the reward value of an established behavior by becoming aware of how we'll feel after we perform that behavior. This is really, really powerful. And if you're someone who's struggling with food cravings, honestly, this applies to other cravings too. So if you're someone who's like struggling with cigarettes, great tool for that too. It doesn't actually feel as good as we expect it to. The Eat Right Now app is a great resource, but you can also just do this in your own mind. Just be mindful. That's the tip. The next tip that I have for you is to level up your craving, especially if you have cravings that come up really frequently and they're the same thing. If you crave chocolate, which this is like the most common craving in the United States is chocolate. If that's your craving, how can you find a way to indulge that craving while also incorporating some nutrient-dense foods? One thing that you could do is melt the chocolate on top of some high fiber, high protein cereal or granola. Another great option is like sweet potato brownies or black bean brownies or just some version of what you're craving that's gonna give you a little bit more quality nutrients and fill you up and make you feel satisfied. This way you're less likely to overindulge, but that craving for chocolate can still be met, and you'll probably end up feeling better in the long run. The best way to level up your craving is to make sure that you have craveable, nutrient-dense snacks readily available. Especially when we're really hungry or when a powerful craving has set in, we're probably gonna reach for what's easiest. So take the time to set yourself up for success. Make sure that you have craveable snacks around. That will also make you feel good. The last thing that I have for you today is that the system is rigged. The food companies are cheating because they have food scientists working for them to make these junk foods as craveable and as habit-forming as possible. They look at MRIs and brain scans to figure out what version of the crunchy chip is going to be the most satisfying. And they use all these tricks to make it really hard for us to stop eating. And this was actually really helpful for me when I learned this, because before I had felt like my willpower was just garbage and like I was a bad person or I was a failure because I couldn't stop myself from reaching for more chips or more chocolate or whatever the food was. When in reality, they're designed to be that way. They're designed to be hard for us to say no to. So knowing that honestly really helped me to know that like this is hard. So keep that in mind next time a craving comes up. You're not a monster because it's hard for you to say no to these foods that are scientifically engineered to be craveable. If you take anything away from this video, I hope it's just the one point of becoming aware of what is actually rewarding versus what you think will be rewarding. Retrain your brain because it's possible and it will help you feel more in control. So that's all for today's video. Quick and easy. Thank you so much for watching. If you haven't yet, go down below and hit subscribe and make sure to tick the notification bell so you don't miss a new video every Monday also. This really supports my channel. Have a great Monday. Have a great week. I'll see you next time. Bye.